Hello, this is Mel, and welcome to Foster Tales, a video series documenting my husband and my experience fostering a mama cat and her litter of kittens. And that mama cat is Leela. Say hi, Leela. And this, right here, is her belly full of kittens. So if you're not familiar with rescue work, fostering means providing a temporary safe home for a cat or dog or a rabbit or a chinchilla or whatever you might be interested in fostering, providing that pet a safe home where it can live until a good family, a good forever family can be found for it. So in my case, I spent many years volunteering for a rescue. And over that time period, I did foster several adult cats and one or two kittens. But then when my husband and I decided to move in together, I moved out of state and haven't really found a rescue I like to volunteer for. And then we got busy in our own lives. So we were always planning to foster again once our senior dog passed away. And our senior dog, she's about 14 or 15 years old. So we were going to wait so we didn't stress out the dog. And then Leela here showed up. I keep wanting to call her Layla, but my husband named her Leela. It's after Futurama, if you're familiar with that. So Leela showed up maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, begging for food. I thought she was feral at the time. Feral means wild and completely unsocialized around humans, and feral cats really never want to live with humans, and it's actually not humane to force them to live with humans. It's better to have them sterilized, either spayed or neutered, and then release them back into the wild where they can live out their life, but not add to the feral cat population by reproducing. So I wasn't sure if Leela was feral, and I was actually researching different groups in the area that would come out and trap her and have her spayed. And then all of a sudden, she wouldn't let us touch her at all. And then one day I went out and I was leaving for work and she was waiting for me, and all she wanted was to be loved. She wasn't interested in her food. She just wanted to be pet. She just wanted to rub up against me. And that's when I pet her and felt this big old belly. So I knew she was pregnant, and I knew she was very far along in her litter. So turns out she is not feral. She's 100% stray. So she's lost her home somehow. She has been lived around people. She's very comfortable in a house. She knows what a TV is. She was actually lying on the floor last night watching the Olympics. You can believe it. So she's very comfortable here. I had posted her photo on several websites, several Facebook groups, trying to find her family, but didn't have any success. So I just figured they don't want her. They didn't want her anymore. And they did not have her spayed, unfortunately. And that allowed her to get out and get pregnant. So my husband and I, we considered several options and finally ended up contacting the old group, the group where I used to volunteer with. And they agreed that if we fostered Leela and her little family, they would take them once they were old enough. They would take Leela and her kittens. So for the next 3.5 months, we will be kitten fosters. To be a cat foster or a dog foster, it really is not a huge commitment. For cats, I can only speak to cats because I haven't yet had the opportunity to foster dogs. With cats, what you need is a spare room. In this case, we're using a bathroom that we don't use very often. So we have you need a spare room, you need food, and a lot of times the rescues will actually give you the food. We chose to save the rescue money by providing the food ourselves. And you need a lot of love, and you just need the time to give. So far, what she requires the most of is love and good quality kitten food, because she has a belly full of kittens and she needs lots of calories right now because she was severely underweight. And that's it. So I thought I would document this process. I've never had a pregnant cat before. Of course, all of my cats I always spay or neuter, so I don't have to worry about unwanted kittens. But I have been involved with fostering kittens before, and it's a whole lot of fun. I know my husband and I are both going to have a blast, and I figured document it and let you guys have some fun too. So I think Leela should be going into birth anytime now, and I actually am wondering if she's starting to go into the early stages of labor. She started to have some discharge from her back end, and that's one of the first signs. You can see a nipple here. You can see a couple of her nipples. She's losing hair around the nipples, and she is grooming herself almost constantly now. She's not eating as much today, so those are all signs from what I've read that a cat should be thinking about starting to give birth soon. And she is just as sweet as can be. This girl wants nothing but love. You know, I like to think that she just escaped from her first home and that somebody is looking for her, because the alternative that somebody would throw away a sweet little girl like this is just, it's hard for me to swallow. I'm very excited to see how many kittens she has. My husband and I were taking bets, and we're also excited to see if they all look like her, if they look like their dad, to see if we got a rainbow mix of kitties. We'll see. I know, I'm messing with you now, aren't I? So let's go over the foster room. What I have set up, now it's set up a little specially for a pregnant mama, but all you need, as I was saying, is a spare room. So I have her litter box. She's a very, very messy cat, so you'll see some litter on the floor. I just swept up this floor maybe 10 minutes before I started filming, so she wastes no time making this room a mess. But because she has the kittens on the way, I'm trying to keep it as neat as possible without using a lot of chemicals that would upset her or the babies once they're born. So I've got a little hideaway bed here because she was really shy when she first arrived. Well, for maybe the first 3 hours she was frightened, and then she's just been Leela. I've got a little scratching board here for her that she really hasn't figured out how to use. She hasn't been scratching much. Oh, she got out of bed. Of course, her water dish and her food. You can see I've got it in this cardboard box. She's a messy, messy cat and just gets food everywhere. You can see she also spilled some water in that cardboard. That's why it's discolored. I have a couple toys, although she's not really interested in playing right now. I don't know if that's just because she hasn't been exposed to toys. She plays with my fingers sometimes. I have gotten her somewhat interested in playing, but I figure once she's raising her kitten, she'll have plenty of time to play. Right? I know. She said, why are you in here just talking? So the other thing we have is her bedding area. So this is a shower stall that we just don't, excuse me, I keep getting the hiccups now. We just don't use the shower at all yet. So you can see it's a shower stall. We didn't even have a shower curtain set up in here. So I decided this was the best place since we aren't in this room a lot. It's kind of out of the way. Our other pets won't bother her. She can be fully isolated and have a nice secure place. I also gave her a nesting box just in case she wants to use that. Having the high-sided box will help keep the kittens warm. She's not interested in it. I think she's going to give birth right over here because that tends to be where she is always. I know. But it's nice too because this is raised off the floor a bit. So it'll help when the kittens are just moving around to keep them in here. And then, here, can you move your butt? Oh, no, you're just going to fall over? Okay, well that complicates things. So I have this is fleece I bought at the craft store. This is a 3-yard length of fleece. And it's just a really nice, soft, warm material for the kittens once they arrive, and she loves it. She was making biscuits as soon as I put it in for her. So I got, and it's because it's machine washable, it's gonna be easy once the kittens are here to change the bedding once or twice a day. Just help keep everything clean. So I got 4 3-yard lengths of fleece in different patterns, just so I can constantly be having clean ones, and some to use for their bedding and some to use to have in the wash. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because I swear she's getting ready to go any minute now. I mean, it'll be hours once she starts, but so underneath this I have just some old towels. It's just to help keep it clean. And then I have another fleece blanket, And I'll show you why I have all these layers. And then I have this really heavy duty quilt. So I'm trying to keep this quilt clean because what this quilt covers is this pebble shower floor, which is really cold and rough, and I don't want the kittens anywhere near it. So this provides a really nice padding. And then I'm gonna get some of those puppy training mats and put between this layer, so that'll just help keep these 2 layers clean, so they always have this nice soft bedding to be on. And then I'll only have to be washing the top 2 layers. So that's it. That's the foster room. Because she's a nursing mom and because she spent so much of her pregnancy eating God knows what, I mean, just what cheap food the neighbors were putting out for her or what she could hunt. She's on this extremely high quality baby cat by Royal Canin. This is actually designed for not only kids that are just being weaned, but then also mama cats, both pregnant cats and nursing mothers. So it's a really high quality food and she loves it. She's eating about 3 of these a day. Plus she has a endless supply of dry kitten food to eat from. Excuse me, can I get that back in there? Sorry, she was underneath the, trying to get underneath the sink because we have toys back there all ready to go for the kitten. This is the kitten dry food just because they didn't have the Royal Canin ever on Science Diet right now in kitten. Hi, I know, but there are chemicals. You can't be in there. So that is about it. Now it's just a matter of waiting. Waiting until she has her babies. So let me see if I can get her belly. Sorry about the camera. So see, she's starting to drop. All of her kittens were on the side here. And you can feel them moving around. You can see them when she lies still. So she's getting close. The vet actually thought she would have gone almost a week ago, but I'm almost glad she had that extra time to get some good nutrition in her and help those babies grow a little bigger before she gave birth. All right, guys. Once she goes into labor, I will try to catch that, or at least part of it. And if not, you'll see them when they're being born. All right, everyone, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.